fraction of instant ramen is just a packet of flavor dust. But a fraction of a stock, that's an investment. Oh. The Arena on TNT, presented by Tractor Supply Company, serving our local community, stronger together.
Well, welcome back to the Arena, everyone, presented by Tractor Supply Company. When Killer Mike stood before the residents of Atlanta and said the time now is to plot, plan, strategize, mobilize, it became a national call to action, and that begins arguably with voting. Our special contributor sits with Atlanta Hawks head coach Lloyd Pierce to discuss the team's role in his call to action.
Hey, what's up? It's Killer Mike. Welcome to the Swag Shop at State Farm Arena, the largest voting center in Georgia, in big part because of the guy I'm about to talk to. Hawks head coach Lloyd Pierce. He's a social justice warrior in the community and in the NBA. Let's get it.
Black lives matter. We have to address that truth in our country and in our city.
You participated in the protest. Why was it important for you to be a part of the protest?
To me, and I've always said it, it's our city. It's that ability to fight for others, that courage to stand up. And when I was invited by the NAACP, instantly it's like, I don't know, got a rally. I don't have the rally type speech. I'm not that guy. So, well, what do I really want to say? I'm not the coach. I'm a black man. And what we're talking about right now, what we're really fighting for, is protection of black men. I can speak on that.
I was amazed at the amount of courage and poise it took to do it, and then you stepped up.
I was born a black man, and I know one day I'll die a black man. But I don't want to die because I'm a black man.
When people hear words like systemic racism, it becomes a trigger word. People either dig in and say, absolutely it exists, and then people either pull out and say, well, racism doesn't exist.
Systemic racism for me does exist. I make good money, live in a good house. I've had many opportunities, and I still have fear. I still feel like I don't belong when I walk in certain rooms, certain areas, certain neighborhoods, just because I'm black. I've always been in that fear of discrimination. But in the moment, it's true. I'm just a black man, and I don't want that to be my life.
I'm duty bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with the enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize.
When you stood up to the platform, I felt grateful to be here in Atlanta. So when I hear you say plot, plan, strategize, organize, mobilize, and I see our players thinking, what can we do as a full strategy to say, hey, we want to play, but we're going to play in these conditions.
Yes.
And we want to do this as the first step. That's the inspiration that we all got. We're good people.
What does that feel like to you as a former player and a coach and a black man to see these men take up the mantle that the platform is given and help shed or magnify a life problem that can be solved?
First off, it's phenomenal. They're the most influential leaders and change agents that we have. They got money, they got access, they got reach, and they have the platform to use their voice. Jaylen Brown driving 15 hours from Boston and come back to his hometown here in Atlanta to protest the league, protest the Malcolm Brogdon from Atlanta. It's their ability to say, I need to help someone else. That's all I'm concerned with.
A lot of players express concern about will the movement for social justice stop if we begin playing? Will we simply become a distraction again?
I hope it doesn't interrupt the movement. What I will say, it is going to be a distraction, but I hope it's a necessary distraction. The movement that we're seeing and experiencing with racial justice right now, we have to keep it greater than the moment.
Well, moment, part of the movement. It's important that we understand that what Jackie Robinson did, what Jack Johnson did, what Satchel Paige did, what Bill Russell did, we owe, in my opinion, blood on to be a continuation of that.
Think about July 30th, the first game that's going to show up
box is very important because it's done effectively. It prevents us from having to get to the other boxes. Why is voting important?
It's our right to be in a position to say and determine who represents us. Why it's not taken seriously, I'll say, because we don't see people that look like us in those positions. If I were to go into the hood and say, hey, you need to vote, most responses would probably be for what? What's that going to do? How's that going to change things? There is a systemic issue that we have in our country. For systemically, we have to address it. The first thing and the most important thing that we can do is our right, or exercise our right to vote.
I remember when I saw this was probably the largest voting center in Georgia, I called Steve Coogan probably much too early in the morning. This is amazing. And yeah, it was FaceTime, so Steve looked like he had just woke up.
Right.
And he gave a lot of credit to you. Talked about you wanting to make sure that citizens who were being denied just 4 miles down the street. In my old voting center, it went from having 16 machines to having 2 machines. To having new machines that they weren't even trained to use. And I know that problem gets solved when it's brought here. So just thank you.
That idea was Steve to get this polling place. You know, my job was, really? That's your idea? All right, well, we're gonna throw it out there. And it got well received. It was innovative, it was well thought out, it was not. So, great idea. Put a mic in front of me, I'm gonna run with it. Why not? All this does is it shows our commitment to helping those that don't have the opportunity. Let's give them more of an opportunity to exercise their right to vote.
I want to thank you for coming out to the arena, which is going to be the largest voting center in Atlanta. To have this conversation, I appreciate you having me on. Absolutely, thank you.
So, State Farm Arena has been the largest voting facility in Georgia. Who better to talk about the importance of voting in Georgia and voter suppression? Stacey Abrams served in the Georgia House of Representatives for 11 years overall. Stacey, I know voter suppression is something that is near and dear to you. There are so many people now joining in that movement, but I want to make it plain for our viewers. Talk to me about how simply would you say, or describe rather, what voter suppression is?
Voter suppression, first of all, Gary, thank you for having me. Voter suppression is any attempt by those in power to prevent or discourage you from casting your ballot. And they do that in 3 ways. By limiting your ability to register or stay on the rolls, by limiting your ability to cast the ballot, and by limiting the ability for your ballot to be counted. It looks different depending on the state you're in, but those 3 points are exactly what happens in every state that practices voter suppression.
Stacey Abrams, this is Dwayne Wade. First, I just want to say that my wife, Gabrielle Union, and I are big supporters and huge fans of yours. My question to you would be about the U.S. Postal Service. And can you talk to us about the importance of keeping our U.S. Postal Service, especially in the Black community?
Absolutely. So let's start with the fact that in the midst of a pandemic, voting by mail is the safest way to cast the ballot if you can use it. 34 states allow everyone to vote by mail. There are 16 states that put limits on it, but every state has the capacity. And we know, unfortunately, that the current administration is doing their best to limit access to vote by mail. Not because it leads to fraud, in fact it doesn't, but because it actually leads to expanded participation in the process of voting. And so one of the strategies they're using is to defund the U.S. Postal Service. We know that not only have they tried to slow the money going to the Postal Service, we also know that the Postal Service has been crippled by the pandemic. People aren't using large mailings anymore, and so they are facing an economic crisis that the Trump administration is refusing to answer. And so there's a bill that passed the House sitting in front of the Senate that will allocate $10 billion to shore up the U.S. Postal Service. That is essential for the right to vote, but it also is critical to the economy. As you pointed out, for the Black community, the Black middle class especially was built by these people being able to work for the U.S. Postal Service, one of the only governmental offices where discrimination was not permitted, and where that lack of discrimination meant that people were able to build strong families, strong communities, and it continues to be one of the #1 employers of African Americans who make it into the middle class. But this is not just about making sure we can vote, it's also about connecting communities and protecting the Black community. And the last thing I'll say is this: a lot of Black folks live in rural communities. A third of Georgia's rural community is African American. If you look around the country, there are a lot of people probably live in rural communities. In those spaces,
I can shamefully say I have not voted since 2008. And the reason I was so excited to vote in 2008 because someone with the skin color of myself, black man Barack Obama, was running for president. And as a kid growing up in the neighborhood, I never thought I'd see the day a black man would even be on the ballot for president. And so that was exciting for me. But I want to ask you a question. So we just watched a piece from Coach Pierce at Atlanta Hawks, and he said one of the reasons he thinks a lot of people don't get out and vote because there's not a lot of people like yourself that look like you or myself in the position, and so it deter our young African Americans away. Do you think that is the case? And if so, what more can we do to help change that?
Representation matters. You believe what's possible in part because of your internal capacity, but also because of what you see. When I ran for governor of Georgia, I became the first black woman in the history of the United States to ever be the nominee for a major party. But what that meant was that I had to make it up as I went along. I couldn't look to anyone to even say this is how I get here because no one had done it before. And if you live in a community where you are told over and over again what you are not, it is hard to imagine what you can be. And so despite being challenged by some and chastised by others, I always talk about what it meant to be a black woman running for that office. Because I needed young black women, young black girls, young black people to believe that they were capable of more than what they always saw around them. And in the conversation that we're having nationally about the future of the country, yes, it matters to say what we think we're capable of and what we want. One of the reasons I'm so excited about this work and this conversation, I believe in voting not just because you get to cast a ballot. I believe in the power of voting, the power to say this is who I want to see speaking for me. When you live in a representative democracy, which is where we live, then the whole point is picking someone who can represent you. How can they represent you fully if there's no one who understands what you went through? I don't chastise those who don't vote. I want to encourage them to do so because it is their power, and we can change the future by participating in it, not by simply being angry about it or worse, being convinced that it doesn't matter. And so I hope that you're going to be voting in 2020, but what I hope even more is that when you vote in 2020, you do so not simply because of what you see, but because of what you want to encourage other people to imagine they can see as well.
Stacey, let me ask you this question. Watching TV every day, I am disgusted by both parties fighting like cats and dogs over every subject. How can you give me some hope? It's been like it's not just happening now, it's happened for many, many years. Why, as we as the American public have any faith in the political system, if the Democrats and the Republicans gonna disagree on every subject and don't look out for people?
I wanted to begin by saying that politics has been polarized since King David. There's always been people on either side, people who want power, people who have power, people who don't want to share power. And so our responsibility is to pick the people who are willing to compromise to make that power work for as many people as possible. When I was the leader of the Democrats in Georgia, I was always in the minority. I used to joke that my title, minority leader, was Latin for lose well. But my job was to find places to work with the Republicans to get things done. But the challenge was that I was often held accountable not simply for the work we accomplished. I was challenged because I bothered to speak to them. Americans have a responsibility to encourage us to work together, to not celebrate those who take fight, but to celebrate those who take solutions. So that has to come from the outside in. If you only elect people who tell you how they're going to hate the other side, then you can't be surprised when all they do is fight with the other side. We can get there, but it's not just about who we elect, it's how we elect and how we hold people accountable for serving our interests instead of serving their own.
When we sit here and you are talking to all of us, and it's a true education, this is more of a comment than a question, but when you lost the election, you refused to use the word concede because you said that wasn't actually true. You said the now governor was an active participant, maybe the architect of voter suppression, and you knew that instead of fighting the battle of trying to win the actual election in the legal system, that you could do better. And I want folks at home who are watching to know that voter suppression is important, but most important is to vote. Because if people got out to vote for you, you would be the governor of Georgia. I am looking forward to basically hearing perhaps that you might be the vice president. Do you want to announce that here? You can.
I have no power to make that decision.
Who's that? Who's that, Stacey? Who's that?
King Charles might, but that is not a power I possess.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I have a little something for the fellas. I want to tell them this. They may not know. Stacey, you not only are you a New York Times best-selling author, but you write romance novels, correct?
I do. Can I for one moment of specific? We have, so one thing I talked about, yes, I write romantic suspense with Selena Montgomery. But my new book, Our Time Is Now, I don't want to talk about the book, but I do want to talk about a chapter. But I talk about the census. As important as it is that we think of 2020 as the year to vote for the justice we want, for the recovery from COVID that we need, for the work that we need to do on the economy, we cannot forget the census. The census allocates billions, $1.5 trillion. But for black and brown communities, black folks in particular, we do not fill out the census, and the money we need never shows up. The resources that we need for our community do not go up. And we can't elect people because the lines are drawn to separate us, so we never get to work with people who share our values. So if we want to be able to elect people who represent us, if we want the resources to take care of our community, and need everyone to not only have a fair fight in our elections, but to push for a fair count in our census. And if you want to know my organization, faircount.org, the census is critical. Black families stand to lose $3.3 billion. Latinos, $4.4 billion. People of color, $8.2 billion. If we don't get this right, we only get one shot at it. We need folks to fill out the census. Faircount.org.
Oh, no. Thank you for that. Most folks did not know that. I know I didn't. I want to get the word
When you said most folks, you mean nobody.
Stacey,
Thank you for that.
didn't know that you wrote romance novels, and the fact that we need to fill out the census so we can make sure we are counted and our funds are there for us, especially in this culture and our community. Stacey Abrams has a book out. It is Our Time Is Now. Folks, you can go check that out. Thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure. And again, I'd like to see you do a writing. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Stacey. She is awesome.
Ain't she awesome? Okay, how was that? Stacey is killing it. Teacher, wasn't that an education?
She's amazing.
Did you know that about the look?
About the census? Absolutely not. No, it's absolutely not. It's educated. As black people, we need to educate.
Marina, back in a moment. And you said like, why are we doing this?
Are we doing what? Using my Old Spice moisturizer with shea butter body wash?
All I wanted was to use the body wash.
And all I wanted was to have a body wash. Taco Bell's new grilled cheese burrito is filled with nacho cheese sauce and delicious 3-cheese blend. And even more melted cheese is grilled on top. Introducing Taco Bell's $5 grilled cheese burrito box. Order ahead and pick yours up at our contactless drive-thru.
After 225 years of Jim Beam, do you think we just look back on our past? Nope. We're looking to our future. We're crafting new bourbon. Creating new ways to drink them. And teaching a new generation of distillers. So no, we're not raising a glass for the last 225 years. We're raising Jim Beam 225 years ago.
This is the moment. We gotta push it forward. Come on, man. Come on, Dusty.
Just as we can stand, is that okay?
What do we want?
Black Lives Matter.
He talks tackles and raises them. Now, Lansing Cal Cutting. In Raleigh, Cunningham partnered with liberals and voted for over $1 billion in new taxes. The cutting and two-step delivered higher taxes on sales, healthcare, hair, alcohol, more. Now, Washington liberals are embracing Cunningham and his tax-raising fancy footwork. Cal Cunningham, we can't afford his higher taxes at the big dance. NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
As a young girl, I was always comparing myself to my sisters. They were always thin, and I wasn't. I ate a lot. And then after I had my son, it was really difficult to lose the baby weight, and everything took so much time and energy, and I didn't have that. And then I tried Noom. It was easy, and it was super convenient. It's effective. It's a blank teaching. My name is Nefertiti, and Noom works for me. Visit Noom.com and lose the weight for good.
In life, if there were people who I could go to dinner with, I have a list of 5. We lost one of those 5 yesterday. I want you guys to take a repeat. Let's go on to it. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now. We must say, wake up, America, wake up, or we cannot stop, and we will not think about it. Go to you. Go to you. You get to play basketball.
And you get to play basketball today. That was powerful. We were playing basketball today. They had teams on the bubble, but there was media availability, of course.
You know, basketball is just secondary, so I got obviously we have a responsibility to fulfill those obligations, but it's also our job to fulfill and to protect our nation, to protect people that look like us, come from places like us, and don't exactly have the same voices that we do. Athletes aren't just, running their mouth. I think guys are really trying to educate themselves, connect with people who are educating them. I think for the most part, athletes have been really helpful in this space. I would go on the record saying that James Cameron's definition for the rest for top school or song school, and with Breonna Taylor, feel like I've done that. So he's the one who's in position to potentially do that. We want to continue to uplift people like Breonna Taylor. So we short guys, financially, it's going to be just as good as Breonna Taylor. That's going to get financial for everything. So we're letting you guys learn that.
So if I ask you about who do you think that's going to be your answer?
That's what's going to Breonna Taylor.
Just joining us here in the studio already. Same thing. Show your shirt and wave. You right there. Zoom in on it.
So this number right here, this number is the number 2 Kentucky. Danny Kennedy. So you guys can call this number, press the 1, and leave a message. Very powerful.
like that. That's special. But I love what those guys are doing at the phone. They're standing up for what they believe in. I've always said for athletes, I think a lot of times people try to make it your obligation. Something's going on, you have to speak. And the thing that I love most about this is you can tell it's not God's obligation anymore because of the length that they're going. And so it's not that someone is making it their obligation. Everyone is truly standing for what they believe in, and that's why I think, we can really make the change.
But I think they got to be very careful because if he's just going to say every answer, that's going to answer every question, they're going to stop talking to him. I mean, you can do both. I mean, these guys do have a job to do. Because once basketball starts, they're going to ask, hey, what happened this game? What happened here? Like, if he's going to say, I'm not answering any question, I'm just going to say, just before Breonna Taylor, the guy's going to say, well, why am I going to come talk to you?
Do you really think they're going to stop talking to somebody who has a running game if he decides that he's only going to answer with a question?
Here, you can do both.
Okay, so but what if they don't want to?
Well, then the press ain't going to talk to him.
Well, I think that just makes the press put out the narrative that we want to tell, because at the end of the day, the press still has a job to do as well. And if the only thing you can report is Breonna Taylor, you're not going to stop answering questions because you have to submit your article to your editor. So if you've got to continue to say that, someone's going to have to continue to write that article.
Well, I'm saying, Drake, you have to do both. Because you said it. These reporters, they do have a job to do. They have to write something. And if you're not going to answer questions, you got to give them something. You want your point across. Again, they don't have to, you can do both things. Right. I think it's important to.
I think that's what you said earlier. I wanted you to explain it. It is important to do both things, but once you don't feel the need right now that you're tired, all you want to do is this moment to have some justice.
Yeah, but you got to respect the media. They have a job to do. When the game starts, Gary, we're going to have to talk about the games. And you're going to have to, it's a very slippery slope. But if guys are trying to ask you basketball questions, you can't say, I'm going to just give you the same answer every time. I don't think that's fair. You're going to have to let them do their job.
You know one thing you can do? When you sit down at the press table, you can start. Before they ask you any questions, you can actually start to say what you want to say first. Just like the coaches do. When coaches go to the press table, they sit and they say what they want to say. So if you want to say something, if you don't want to word something that says justice for Breonna Taylor, you can start it off and have a message before you answer the questions about basketball.
And then you can answer the questions.
You got to get that.
You got to let them do their job.
Or you can end every answer with justice for Breonna Taylor. I thought we played great defense tonight, but we still need justice.
Yes, there you go.
I'm with that. 100%. Meanwhile, you know what else? His name isn't Dre. He just made that up.
His name is Day-Day.
Day-Day. It's Day-Day, and I just call him Dre. How did I get that up? Respect on that T-shirt. They want it. I want it. Day-Day or Dre?
Day-Day.
Okay. We'll be back in a moment, folks. Justice for Breonna Taylor.
4 down, 3 open. Come back to center again. And pull. How are you doing? You want money? You're desperate. I can make this work. Friends, you're playing now. I'm tired, okay? I'm happy. We are happy. Right? You haven't killed anybody. But you are safe, okay? It's a positive thing. For a lot of people, you know, probably I need you to come. I can feel it. You're driving me nuts. If it makes you feel better, bring me the rule. I'm not going to control anything, all right? No way. Oh, what? Catching up. Why is here? I fuck with you. What? Oh, come on. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. Left 10, right? Taking Sarah home. Stay safe. You're never going to be in danger ever again.
Go. Play free for new DraftKings. K1. Come on. A mobile plan that blows away those high price plans. Boost Mobile's all new trigger plans. The longer you stay, the less you stay. Watch your bill straight for $35 a month after just 6 on-time payments. Plus, get a free LG K51 when you switch on our new upgraded network. Boost Mobile. In a world of flavorful hydration. Coffee, juice, mushroom juice. In your blood, vacation.
Hiring is challenging, especially for a pivotal role. It definitely felt like we were looking for a needle in a haystack. So Dylan used ZipRecruiter. He posted his job, ZipRecruiter sent him to over 100 top job sites, and then matched his job with
Circle the summer with the taste of freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camo cans. Available for limited time only. Stores now.
I found a way to relieve my constipation that was gentle and fast.
New great tasting Dofalac soft juice works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. New Dofalac soft juice. Fox News Media brings America together with Fox News Channel. Fox News. Fox News Digital. And America's streaming service. Fox News. America News. And much more.
The world comes together tonight with terrific victory. No one can touch it. You're gonna get strong, get up, beat in row. If you're sick, I'm the man that's gonna burn the sickness to the ground. Here, to make it everywhere.
SummerSlam, baby. And now, WWE presents SummerSlam. Welcome to the biggest event of the summer. You are looking live at a sold-out Barclays Center in Brooklyn. 15,974 WWE fans on hand for the 29th annual SummerSlam. And tonight is the opportunity after that for Charlotte. I want you guys to listen to these numbers for a moment. Charlotte is 13-2 all time in pay-per-view action. 11-0 in single matches. No superstar, male or female, in WWE history has had a better record through their first 15 pay-per-view matches than this woman, Charlotte. Numbers like that, as impressive as they are, they have to be in Sasha Banks' mind. Sasha has been known with the nothing against being in the ring with Charlotte before. They're no strangers, but Sasha Banks has to factor in every single thing like that. And of course, Charlotte out here alone tonight, coming out from after Sasha Banks was able to earn herself a victory against it, and was on Raw. And it's just hard from ringside, which means that limit right there. Charlotte has no excuses if you can't get the job done. It's not about excuses. This is an opportunity for Charlotte to prove that she is as good as she said she is all by herself. But Sasha Banks leads Charlotte back out all the way. Charlotte has held the championship for 309 days. But while Sasha Banks was able to knock off the champion that night, this is the first one-on-one meeting at a WWE pay-per-view with Sasha and Charlotte. When you talk about this, I tell you that life in her game is all about timing. Waiting for the right time to call your shoulder. Making it there for the right moment to defeat the Rollins to win the championship. And now taking control of what she calls the era of the Bomb. And most of you guys know from your time at NXT, the Barclays Center is serving a hallway home for Sasha Banks. Last year, one of the most historic matches in the women's evolution here in WWE. Sasha Banks and Bayley, who covered on WWE 24 on WWE Network last night. Unbelievable match. I have a very good feeling they're about to take this to a world match. And they pulled off show tonight for SummerSlam. Sasha Banks barely dropped in because she's not scared of Charlotte and not afraid to do this tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for fall, and it is for the WWE Women's Championship. Introducing first the challenger from the Queen City, Charlotte. Her opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, is the WWE Women's Champion, Sasha Banks.
You know, Corey, despite being much smaller than Charlotte, Sasha Banks did tweet out earlier this week that she is not afraid, that she was born to do this. But as far as time spent in the ring, Sasha Banks has significantly more time than Charlotte. We have to give the veterans edge to the Boss. That said, the Boss has found out recently that being the champion and being the Boss are two totally different things. She lives her life for the Boss, but she's realized that when you're the champion, you're a target. It could be a classic here tonight in front of nearly 16,000 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Hey, Charlotte's credit. She made her debut last July. 2 months later, she was already a champion in the division. As you mentioned, Michael went on to hold on by Sasha Banks. And Sasha going to finish Charlotte slide. And Charlotte wants to look at supplies on her face. Oh, she's going to knock it over the leg second. And Charlotte rolls underneath the bottom rope, but Sasha looking to end it that quickly. First ball for Charlotte. The ball sending a warning shot early. And Sasha telling Charlotte, I can catch you there at any time. These two superstars love each other so well. Long story victory. Charlotte flies through the rope, rolls up Sasha, kick out in two. Charlotte again takes Sasha out, but quickly maybe go for the figure four. Roll up by Sasha and a kick out. And she's with the chop, and Sasha with one of her own. Talk about the history between these two, both tag team partners in NXT. Coming off the top rope by Sasha. Oh wow! And face first goes Charlotte. Sasha on her game early. She had to be 100%. Look at Charlotte slapping away at the champion. What Charlotte got in mind here. The move right across the package again. It's right over the top turnbuckle. Charlotte fighting back with knees to the face. Very physical start to this match. Just feel the disdain between these two ladies. Oh, Charlotte now from the second rope. Sasha's in deep trouble here. Dropping Sasha. Fall of her back right across the ropes and then crashing to the mat. And you can hear Sasha scream out in pain. Covered by Charlotte over the leg of the champion. Sasha kicks out at two. The referee checking on Sasha Banks. That might be injured. That looks snapped and seriously injured. She backs up into the ropes now. The official backing Charlotte off. And Charlotte look at Wendy opening. Watch that. Get nasty. And Charlotte needed a big ball in the back as we take another one. What? The way, the way Sasha's entire body. Hey. Hard to watch. Now Charlotte on the attack. And Sasha. And Charlotte now up. Charlotte rolling through. Really got strength advantage. Look at the leg. Sasha in a kick out. Sasha is hurting. The champion. Desperate trouble. Did any of you hear the ugly mother part? I like that. No, I can do it somehow. Yeah, as a mother, I want my kids to see that. Hey, wait, I'm sorry.
Don't you see enough violence in this? Gracie, which part of the world bundle most of the character? Like, it's the bundle. It's up on the bundle, dear.
Doing a cool, beauty faithful, introducing Ask the Queen of Essential Oils. Now your hand and natural oils combined with fast-acting ingredients for more safety. You Ask the Queen of Essential Oils.
The funny spirit is what we all share. Praise God. It's the story of a man paid for nothing. Who found purpose and success in his passion for music. What else? Who's to know? Funny spirit.
We're still up at the break of dawn. And it's more than ever to the health and safety of all our athletes. And with many of our other favorite sports on hold, we're
Oh yeah, it is crazy, big time. Power bomb, jackknife. He gave up. He gave up.
The struggles I'm hearing about from folks are almost hard to believe. We're being tested as a country, but I've always run some fights. After 9/11, I volunteered, serving with troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. I learned that our country comes before party, and especially in times like these, I'll work with both parties when it's right, and I'll stand up to my own party when they're wrong. I'm Cal Cunningham. I approve this message because we're working together to success. I know I'm not the smartest or the fastest. Jake from the State Farm? Here's the deal. She's not the one for you. Sure, she's got that cool apartment, that brand new car. She doesn't have good insurance. She's not going to protect all her stuff with State Farm. She's going to protect the home. You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there. After the fact that Dawson maybe got solid off the game a little bit during the moments of this matchup. But if I can tell you one thing, their confidence, like a scoring special there by Charlotte. Their confidence with each and every moment of Charlotte is growing more and more. And it gets more pressure on the back of Sasha. Is Sasha going to give up here? How serious is the back injury from Jenkins? Is Sasha going to tap to Charlotte? Sasha trying to find out of this. Back slide, shoulders down. Sasha's got to roll through. Elbow by Sasha buys herself a little bit of time. And the champ desperately trying to fight to stay in this. Oh, pretty good job. Knee strike by Sasha. Down goes Charlotte. Sasha fighting for the pain. Sasha gets knocked down the challenger. Still favoring the lower basket, trying to maintain momentum here. Adrenaline makes you do crazy things. Charlotte caught her with an elbow.
Take a look at this. This echoes what Charles been saying the last few weeks, saying that Sasha's not worthy of being champion. Saying that Sasha's just a one-night stand when it comes to winning championships. Big way, Charlotte. Sliding knees and boots with a falling back. The champion screaming in agony. Look at the look on the face of Sasha. Look at the look of absolute confidence on the face of Charlotte. God, this is not going to be good for the champion. Charlotte is next to the superflex. Sasha realizing that and desperately fighting out. Sasha knew what Charlotte was looking for, that figure 4 into the figure 8. The ball's able to back it off momentarily. Sasha, again! Relentless assault by Charlotte. I don't think there's any question how powerful Charlotte is to back. Survival for the champion right now. Rebecca's got to feel that women's championship slipping through her fingers as the match goes on in the excruciating pain in her back. What is Charlotte looking for right now? What could she possibly be thinking? My goodness, Sasha's up on she's up on the top rope. Charlotte's on the second rope. No way. Raises it from up there. For like maybe a razor's edge or Niagara driver, Sasha Banks somehow able to reverse to a hurricanrana from the top rope. Whatever it was to appear with this fatal for Sasha Banks in this matchup, at least temporarily, Sasha has preserved herself as women's champion. Both women are down. The referee is starting to count. Look at Sasha Banks. Excruciating pain fall on her back. Charlotte trying to get back into things. The right hand is Sasha's water. You have to wonder, even though it was an offensive maneuver from that height, how much damage did it do to Sasha Banks? How much damage did it do to Charlotte? Exchanging maybe Charlotte may end up having back problems in this match too, especially after this. Charlotte does not want to be there. Let's take another look at this. Watch the way Charlotte's spine bends. Double knees. The human anatomy is not meant to go that way. Sasha's way of saying is, Charlotte, you want to try to disable or put me in this match? I can do the same to you. And now it's Sasha Banks, the champion, on the attack. You guys notice Charlotte's favoring to swallow her back as well? Charlotte into the corner. And Sasha. bring it into the second turnbuckle. That was a veteran maneuver if I've ever seen it. Kicking out the knee of the bomb. Brilliant move. Just great ring awareness by the challenger. These women making it all happen. Women's championship. This is what women's evolution is all about. The top rope to the floor, the bomb dropping those knees into the upper chest and shoulders of Charlotte. And this has been incredible. An incredible test of will and just here tonight. Tremendous spirit shown by MC Young Lady. Sasha pulls her, look at the shoulders are down for the win. Charlotte to it in. Sasha thought she had her. Sasha taking the jump her feet and dealing with a bad back. Going on for it. She went for the backstabber, but I think her back gave out, guys, and she wasn't able to get it. And all selection was Sasha. Charlotte trying to use those long arms to make it to the bottom rope. Sasha puts it off the line. Locked in again. From Charlotte back to the center of the ring. Charlotte able to swim away. Oh man, Charlotte's on the floor there. And maybe the back came into play again for Sasha. And Charlotte. Oh man. Neck breaker. Great Sasha out of the knee. Chop block to the front and that's a control selection. And Charlotte to become women's champion for a second time. Kick out to Sasha. Heart-pounding match. Heart-pounding match with Sasha Bird covering in by Charlotte. Here's Sasha again it too. How much does the champ have left? Charlotte for a third time and again Sasha. Maybe a bit weaker this time, but still able to kick out. And now Charlotte, frustration setting in. Overcome with emotion. She can't put Sasha away. Sasha knew coming into this match how much she needed to prove that she deserves to be women's champion. Now she's screaming, I'm better than her. Black across the face of Sasha. And another one. Complete disrespect of a champion.
We're going to try something different today.
sleep the mid's fine. It's like he trains every day, 5 a.m. Well, sometimes 3 a.m. training. Yeah, exactly. It's training to sleep. This is better half. Cheering on the Intercontinental Champion at ringside, the Miz in his fourth Intercontinental Championship match here at SummerSlam more than any other WWE superstar as Cruz lands on the apron. And there, the Miz taking his feet out from under him. He face off to the apron. Hey, Miz is taking it to this incredible athlete of Apollo Cruz. You're right. Cruz is not expecting his own drop on the Miz. Cruz has the athletic advantage, but you know, Miz, he does have the better skill set here. He's taking it to him like he does. We just saw the Miz block Cruz like Nathan Hollywood. He just dived right into a boot from the challenger Apollo Cruz. That's the athleticism I was talking about right there. Well, you're right, and it is incredible athleticism. That's a great American story. Look at this. This is a thing of beauty. Boom! Get up on a throne. Apollo Cruz is a flying tank, and that's really what makes him such a special athlete, David. Is he built compact, plenty of muscle, but this guy can fly with a festival. Oh, absolutely. He's got so much agility and power. He's jacked and an acrobat. I call him a jackabat. Just levels. The Miz does so again with those running clotheslines, and there's a stinger splash in the corner. See, now Cruz is fighting his fight. Oh, there's the athleticism with a kip up. The jackrabat. The jackrabat, yes. This is about it. Batted fire 6. Best of 6. Side press with the hooking up the outside leg, and Cruz gets a 2-count. Cruz was trained by Mr. Hughes. You know, Apollo came over here as his father. Julio Moon came from Nigeria to escape poverty to give his family a better life. And that is exactly what Apollo Cruz is taking advantage of right now. Oh, he's taking advantage with the Bull Nelson looking for that skull crushing finale. Cruz's traps are too big. Oh, and the execution by Apollo Cruz. Oh, yes. And the athleticism again on display, but again, well shotted by the Miz. A couple of knees into the ribcage. Wow, that's great power. That's what I'm talking about right there. Side press. We almost had a new Intercontinental. Apollo's high school coach was the one that nicknamed the Wuhan Nation. He said he's as strong as a single country, and he certainly is showing it. Began training at the age of 21, as I mentioned, under Curtis Mr. Hughes. I was wondering if Mr. Hughes wore sunglasses during the training sessions, and if Cruz can beat the Miz, he'll have to wear shades because, well, his future definitely shows up. Roll here. Big lands on his feet. Blocked on by Cruz. From the combo. Beautiful overhead belly to belly. And there's the standing moonsault after the Intercontinental Championship. Somebody that big in that muscle should not be able to do that. I saw Pat Patterson backstage, first Intercontinental Champion, came out with a great new book right now, accept it. He won that title in a tournament at the home of the 2016 Olympics, Rio de Janeiro. That championship again, the only place you can see it, SmackDown Live. Speaking of Olympics, Cruz has been, well, aspiring to be like the Olympics model. Faster, higher, stronger, much to the chagrin of the Miz. The Miz might want to take his ball and go home here. He can set it up. Just give a little breather, guys. Just give a little breather. This was 10. I don't know. That's why you can only win the Intercontinental Championship via pinfall or submission. AutoZone, you get what you need when you need. Got a today job? Pick it up free same-day tools from AutoZone. More of a tomorrow project? Order as late as 10 p.m. with free next-day delivery. Getting the job done just got easier.
I always thought it was me that I was the reason all these diets never work. This is genuinely not a temporary fix. It's a bit of psychology behind it. It's funny how like smarter I feel like you're just like it's the simple things. Once I understood why I was making those choices, it was easy for me to change those habits, and weight loss came naturally after that.
I've been on Noom for 4 months now. I lost 27 pounds. I feel like I got my life back.
Visit Noom.com and lose the weight for good.
We stole our house. Zoma's reimagining how people sell homes. Answer a few simple questions to request a competitive cash offer from Zillow. And we'll buy your home directly. Anthony's top 5 fruits. Every 5 years on that. Dragon Calorie. It's your boy, you ready? We are. Stand up for a fair wage free. Play free for 1 million bucks because the PPA tour is on. Put down the remote, pick up your phone. Get the DraftKings app and get your shot at 1 million. Come man, it's time. 18 holes of weight. Every stroke counts. Ready to find this prize? Play through. Download the DraftKings app. Use the promo code and play free for a million. DraftKings. Game on. Love you all. Miss you all. Stay safe.
These past few months haven't been easy, but they've reminded us that no matter what, there's no place like home. Now, more than ever, with the rate of the store's low, home has meaning. Home, everything.
You went to college? No smart. So why are you getting ripped off on your student loans? At Credible tens of thousands of people save money by refinancing their student loans. In 3 minutes, we get your actual rate. Multiple lenders. We can save you hundreds of dollars a month by refinancing to a lower rate. Don't get ripped off on your student loans. Let's focus on your future, not your debt. Visit Credible.com and in 3 minutes, see how much you can save.
the bank in June. The next month at Battleground, John Cena along with Enzo and Big Cass. Got a miserable revenge over Styles as they beat the club.
However, that match in Money in the Bank was an accurate match, which we all know AJ Styles had hopes of.
Now it's Cena's turn with a side headlock, trying to keep the high-flying AJ Styles grounded.
And obviously Cena has a major power advantage here. Right up the bridge, he's that. And again, there's AJ Styles for that.
There you go. Drop kick executed by AJ Styles. Big Bill. But he has to be careful about this, John. Too much showboating will back to against the John Cena headlined SummerSlam more than anyone else 6 times tonight against AJ Styles. Just one of the massive matches coming your way here.
Circle the summer with the Ace of Freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camel can. A woman with Down syndrome was recently rejected from 8 of her campus sororities. She and her family were left feeling hurt and outraged.
My little sister, and she wanted time. And she asked me why I didn't want to see her sister. And I was so hurt and so frustrated and angry.
The university responded by deferring to the Pan-Hellenic Council, which oversees Greek life. The council issued a statement saying they do not possess the ability to dictate our chapter's membership or the process of selecting new members. But they added they do promote inclusivity.
Are you sure? It's a community today.
If you saw this young woman with Down syndrome,
Listen, Chelsea, our sorority has very strict standards. These are really relaxed.
being judged and rejected by these sorority girls,
And you definitely don't need them.
what would you do? hidden cameras are rolling at Lulu's Cafe in Nyack, New York. And Chelsea is eager to convince our sorority sisters that she has what it takes.
Really wasn't trying to get it. You really think you can keep up with us though? No one is going to really have to. I really want to be a sorority. Well, not this one.
Right away, this table shifts their attention toward the conversation.
Sorority was not the whole life before. Do you not see a difference between me and you?
This woman wastes no time screening our students.
Because you were part of a sorority, you would have some kind of skill on how to be nice to people, right?
What do I be a sorority?
I know that's pretty cool, but you don't want to be embarrassed, okay? You don't need to get like that in your life.
Big difference.
Is different?
You're in school, there's no shot.
You shouldn't even be able to set and guarantee if you're going to be flattering to other people. You're clearly just want to talk about different.
And she encourages them to apologize.
Sorry to her.
We step in to say hello.
Hi, man. How are you? It's the TV show. What would you do?
To touch me.
I have a nephew, Johnson, so touch home.
We're rolling again.
I'm good at eating, writing. I'm a great innocent skill.
Immediately, this woman catches wind of their old friends.
I don't understand what you're not getting.
And when the bullies take it to the next level,
You are a loser. You are just so mean.
here we go.
We're just sitting here from getting hurt. You realize something? You should treat people as you want to be treated. And then you have to be mean and good. I mean, look at her. You really should be able to be.
And when our sorority sisters take her advice,
Just leave us alone, okay? Leave us alone.
the people at this table share their opinion with Chelsea.
Be intimidated.
And they don't hold back.
What about you, sorority?
That sorority is probably full of nasty girls like that. I wouldn't want to be friends with them.
I want to be friends with people that are going to treat you with respect.
Thank you so much.
You're too good for them.
With that, it's time for us to meet these compassionate people.
Hi, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm serious. This is not real.
They're all awkward.
How do you like that?
You don't know that girl.
No, but I mean, how can somebody be so mean to people and nobody stand up for them?
You know, like you others that you were having
Golden Rule? That doesn't hit home for anyone as much as it does for our actress, Chelsea.
I have been bullied since I was like 9 years old. I still have been struggling for now 26 years now.
How do you change that?
I just focus on what's positive and love myself. And I have a very great question. I just want to be who I am as a person to be true to myself and believe in what I can do.
And no one supports Chelsea quite like this last one.
Trying to be friends. Well, I'm trying to find friends elsewhere. Like another club or something. With people like you, like a reading club or Chucky. Nobody would want to know.
She bites her tongue as their brush off becomes overt bullying.
Why not? Because you're not like us.
Now we're just being honest with you. You're clearly not getting it.
But when the bullies take a moment to themselves, I have to go through the bathroom together.
We're going to go to the bathroom real quick.
She seizes the opportunity to recruit our hopeful pledge.
Do you want to join the sorority?
I was trying.
So much to enjoy the participants. Children. And children that kill the friends. Those are the ways to enjoy.
And now with the girls back,
You can join the college.
Can I have other people?
You're no problem.
she offers a safe haven.
Would you like to join us for lunch? You want to buy? No, so why did you? Here.
Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem.
Time for us to take a seat at the table.
Hi there. How are you?
Oh, hi.
I'm just asking you. What were you thinking? The sorority doesn't
an immigrant child caught in the middle. But you're the one who should fight this week. And later, postpartum depression. It hits close to home for ABC's Sarah Haynes.
Stop me if you want.
When we return. This is my body of fruit. Fruit like a fight virus if you get rheumatoid arthritis.
Proof I can fight psoriatic arthritis. With Humira. Proof of less joint pain.
And clear skin is PFL.
Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, happen to affect blood, liver, and nervous system problems. Serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common. And if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you've had an infection.
Humira is proven to help stop further joint damage.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist about Humira.
This should have been the real WrestleMania.
If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
Some small businesses don't have small ones. Their office is a truck, and their workplace is your home. You won't find them on Main Street, but for over 20 years, you've been able to find them on HomeAdvisor. Book the best local pro for any home project, online or with the app.
At Purely, the most important ingredient in making tea is saying no. In our Real Root iced tea, we say no to artificial flavors and sweeteners. Which means no settling, unless it's into a comfy chair. Purely, no is beautiful.
And we've upgraded her with a sonic shield and holographic mapping drones.
Impressive.
There is one more thing.
Jason Safe Drive, here's the deal. With the Drive Safe and Save app, you'll save up to 30% for being a safe driver and get a discount just for signing up. Well played, Jason Safe Farm. As usual, if you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, Safe Farm safe.
When our daughters and kids moved in with us, our barbie detergent couldn't keep up.
Turns out it's worth your water.
So we switched back to Tide. One wash saves it all.
Super clean. It's gotta be Tide.
Great delight your kids that were created with a recipe perfected over time. Each just so thick, thin, crisp, or it's delicate crunch. It's passionate craft. Meets peace of the mind. Great delight. Bring out the good tip.
Everyone's falling for the new family comedy, United We Fall.
Oh my God, it's been wrong.
And it's just the fun we need right now. HBCU 22 was completely enough. It's bound to become your family's summer favorite. There are no favorites in this family, okay? You know, it's like Mom and me. You don't have a favorite, right? So what's it up? United We Fall. Wednesday on ABC.
Oh, thank you. Please say to the nice lady, Lydia. Come on, Dad. Oh, you're very welcome, sweetie. Oh my God, your daughter's adorable. She's actually not my daughter. Oh, you adopted. Not quite. I'm just a sponsor taking care of her once a week for her immigration years. What do you mean?
In 2018, the Trump administration instituted a zero-tolerance policy at the border. If you are surviving a child, then we will prosecute you. And that child may be separated from you.
Oh no. Oh no.
According to government data, last year alone, nearly 70,000 children were held in detention, many spending long periods in overcrowded facilities like these, where the lights were left on all night, and if children tried to go to sleep, they were only given a thin lumbar sheet for water. While traveling for this scenario, we met this father and son at an airport in Texas. They were apprehended at the border while legally seeking asylum.
You get it from video, the scenario before the pandemic at Mac in El Paso, Texas, less than 1 mile from the U.S.-Mexico border.
Indigo.
Our young actor Lydia is originally from Los Angeles, and she is fully prepared for Rebecca's hurtful language.
Hi, is your daughter teaching you Spanish?
Yes, she is. Actually, she's not my daughter. I'm the person.
This first customer takes notice as Rebecca takes offense to the child's presence.
So she's illegal.
She currently is an undocumented child. Yes.
I'm sorry, we don't deserve to be here. I think you should send her back.
I'm a taxpayer. This is a waste of us.
I'm a taxpayer and you're reaching out.
Caught in the middle of this debate, this man agrees that the U.S. government cannot help everyone.
Really? I just don't think they have the resources. I just feel like we're very fortunate to live here.
Clearly at an impasse, maybe I'm definitely
That's okay. We have to go ahead.
Dawn, Maxa, and Lydia.
Thank you very much for your time, I think.
I appreciate what you do. It's to be you.
Have a good one.
Do you think I said anything wrong?
You do think I'm not like you. You use beautifully pretty stuff. You use what you will say. Time to find out more. We have responsibilities and bills. People they don't come to. But once the kids are here, what can you do? I don't know. Hopefully, the government can find some kind of solution, but I don't think we should just be out there. But other customers disagree,
So she's undocumented.
Currently, she is not.
placing the onus of Lydia's situation on the U.S. government.
How does this not bother you? What? The system isn't working.
And when it comes to the children's well-being,
It's encouraging people to come here illegally.
customers say that responsibility shifts to the public.
So you're okay with that?
Regardless of political beliefs,
There's something else going on that's bigger than this woman and what's going on. When you look at all the people that are coming from all the different people in America, it's a big political problem. But showing compassion to a little girl can't be wrong.
to those who argue that it only encourages others to come,
They're coming by the hundreds or the thousands, whether or not we take care of them. So it's our obligation, I think, to help the people that not just front that we feel.
these next customers offer Rebecca a little solution.
I think you need to take this towel back to the nation. How does this not bother you? This is the problem that we're in right now.
You're the one who's making everything uncomfortable, so you're the one who should probably keep the lead. While these co-workers politely refuse to engage in a political debate,
Aren't you concerned about what this is doing to Americans?
other customers aren't as shy.
She doesn't belong here. She is illegal. And this is the problem.
We're rolling one last time.
She's undocumented.
Yes, and we're waiting on a hearing to see about citizenship.
You're helping people come here illegally. That's what you're doing.
This family patiently waits for Rebecca to make her point.
She's better off in Mexico.
And then they provide their perspective on immigration policy.
What do you want?
You can do whatever you want. You don't need to explain anybody else for me.
Thank you. Thanks.
Rachel, and you know, Rachel, I really appreciate what you're doing.
How you doing? I'm John Quinones. With a TV show. What would you do? You applaud the lady who took the job.
It's a child, no, and the other person was doing something in order to support her.
So you're torn. You can see both sides.
It took me a lot of effort, financially and emotionally, to become a resident. So it's difficult sometimes to say who has a better idea of how to become a citizen and why it should be faster for them than it was for me, right?
In the meantime, these children are caught.
In the meantime, they're here. Someone brought her over here. She's innocent. So what is happening there too, right?
It's a complicated issue on both sides of the border. But it's the innocent children caught in the middle who are hurt the most. Next, She's a Blast on ABC. But now, in a series with Sarah Haynes.
I felt like we'd be better off with someone else.
We're going mother to mother about postpartum depression.
You need to speak easy on yourself.
Stay tuned.
Baby and Nikki Glazer, guess those. New tonight on ABC.
After my DVT blood test, I wondered, could another come around the corner, or could it play out differently? I wanted to help protect myself. My doctor recommended Eliquis. Eliquis is proven to treat and help prevent either DVT or PE blood clots. Only 98% of patients on Eliquis experience another. Eliquis has significantly less major bleeding than the standard treatment. Eliquis is FDA approved and has both.
Don't stop Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. If you have a spinal injection while on Eliquis, call your doctor right away if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily and may take longer than usual for bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
What's around the corner could be your moment. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus now bundled together. The greatest stories and characters, the largest streaming TV library, and exclusive sports. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Get all three for only $12.99 a month. Our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water. Earn box points for your school with Nestle Pure Life. Available across this fun pack.
To be honest, possible sex never bothered me. Until I found out what it actually was. That brain chopping? Dead skin cells? Wow. So now I grab my Swiffer Sweeper and heavy duty dusters. Dusters has 3 layers. They grab, traps, and lock away those dust. And for dust on my floor, I switch to my sweeper. The extra cloth, rag, trap, and locker, and no matter where this spring time. No more heat and heat. Glad I stopped cleaning and started swippering. This 4 years will help you prepare them to connect, to explore, and dream. No matter what this school year brings, we're here to get you ready. JC Penney.
Scully is obsessed with Oscar. And her first word was doggy. As soon as she saw him, just like that. Can you get back there again? Oh, good job. Oscar's family, so I see him blue.
That Tito shot that's been here 5 weeks of the greatest athlete the ocean has ever seen. And your summer in the company of champions. Contest continues all week long on National Geographic.
Good time. It's now a 2-hour live event. Hosted by the NBA champion, set with you fresh. Featuring unscripted season. NBA Week on Launch Special. Saturday at 7 Central on ABC. What would you do? Continues.
So excited to finally meet my son.
Oh, shoot, here's Clarion. Are you just basking in the happy glow of motherhood? Is that really what it's supposed to feel like?
Postpartum depression. It affects 1 in every 7 women.
being busy. Don't worry, we'll snap out of it.
If you've heard this new mom's alarming symptoms,
You just need to sleep.
being brushed off by her friends or her husband, you just need to decide to feel better.
I can't help but feel like she would be better off without me.
What would you do? Joining us on the set today is ABC News's Sarah Hayes. And she's been public about her own postpartum experience.
I say that the baby and everything people describe did not happen. It's a very, very dark and scary time.
We're set up at Miss America Night, where Sarah dispels some misconceptions of mothers.
People say this is a magical or a blessing. Not many people warn you of what it can look like, and often I said, I can't handle this. I felt so overwhelmed. I felt like this was better off with someone else. Yeah. She was stuck with me.
I feel like I'm getting like an F in new mom.
No, you're not.
Everything from top to bottom makes me anxious. You'll get the hang of it.
These women are sitting down next to our actors.
You know what they say? Sleep when the baby's asleep.
I get so anxious that she's gonna wake up.
And as Ariane continues describing her feelings,
I'm gonna have to pick her up. And then I'm gonna have to look at her and like not feel what I'm supposed to be feeling.
they're signaling something serious.
I can't help but thinking that she would be better without me.
Oh, don't say that. You need a good cry, get it out. I have to use the breast and some water.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, when her friend leaves her alone with the baby, they can't sit silent any longer.
Okay, you need to just, I know it's hard to say, but you need to speak easy on yourself. My son's 24. This is my aunt. She's got 2 children. Now, your mom.
Is it normal? I feel so, am I on depression?
Have you spoken to the doctor about it?
How many people? Millions. Look at Google.
You're not alone. You are not alone, Tabor. You have a right to all the feelings that you're asking right now. You're not crazy. People get better.
Hey, listen, time to introduce ourselves. How are you? Johnson and
You have got to be kidding me.
this is really Tell us why you stepped in.
And I'm the mom. I couldn't even concentrate ordering my food because I was so upset.
Why were you crying?
I went to the phone and they were like, oh, you know, I know the children. Like, it's mom. What do you think?
Your advice to women who go through this?
You need to see a doctor. And other women who are going through the same thing. I mean, you're not alone. This is the main thing. Yeah?
It so often comes from experience. So heartwarming.
The power of this one human that heals and validates the struggle.
As we get ready to do it again, we decided to switch things up. This time, it's Ariane's husband who's joining her for lunch.
I think she just needs to decide to feel better.
Ariane is revealing just how dark things are as these customers sit down nearby.
I have to celebrate. This is the moment they handed her to be in the hospital, and
You're the one who wanted to start having babies right away. You're not going to care about babies. I'm being forgotten about too. I'll be right back.
And as he steps away, this woman
postpartum depression. How do you speak up and do the things that he doesn't want to say it? I don't know how to handle this. Thank you. How do you know about this? Because I know people who say she knows people. I just feel like everybody I talk to is just like, you're tired, and that's because they don't understand either.
Let's go. When you say that, I know you did your job. She was an actress playing a woman who was having problems with postpartum depression.
And that's what I was telling her that it was.
You knew right away. You don't know the woman. She's a stranger to you. Why get involved?
Because I'm a mother myself. If this was a real scenario, he was dealing with his own issues because she wasn't caring for him. But nobody's concerned with her. She's no good to her baby or her husband at this point.
This is Sarah Haynes.
Hi, how are you?
Postpartum depression herself.
I think one of the biggest troubles is people don't feel seen or heard. What you did right when you walked over was say, they don't see you. And this is not your fault. And not enough people do that. So you would have been an angel if I had found you earlier.
Coming up, I was made for this role. I'm going to go in and play the part.
Sarah's not just on the sideline.
I feel really overwhelmed.
And how will that be reassured? Still ahead. Is it or not is it? That's the question for Grandpa. When we return. Utah Powerball, one up to City Power Liquid.
Can I want a spaghetti night?
You sure can.
Really?
Can it one up breakfast in bed?
Yeah, for sure.
What about that?
Yep.
Can?
Yeah, even that.
I would very much like to see that.
Me too.
Introducing Utah Powerball. One of the toughest stains with 50% more cleaning power than liquid detergent. Any further questions? Nope. One of the power of liquid with Utah Powerball.
I'll put you in again. Tonight, try Pure V's Lemonade. Unlike other food days, our extended release melatonin helps you sleep longer and longer. Equals Pure V's Fall asleep, stay asleep.
At the Home Store grand reopening event ends Monday. It's your last chance to get up to 50% off. Or get 0% interest for 6 whole years. Shop and save today at AshleyHomeStore.com. This is home.
From cross dressers to soccer practices and new adventures. You hold the core you give, the less they'll miss. But even if your team was vaccinated against meningitis in the past, they may be missing vaccination for meningitis B. Let's help protect them together. Because missing Men B vaccination could mean missing out on a whole lot more. Ask your doctor if your team is missing meningitis B vaccination.
A new tomorrow starts today. Join me on my quest.
It's going to be hard for everyone. But what if you don't have internet?
It's very confusing and very frustrating.
This family struggled last spring. Now they face another school year with the exact same problem.
So what do you do?
Design investigates the challenges of remote learning.
They're not where they need to be for the next grade.
What's being done to keep children without access to the internet from falling behind? Return to Learn. Tomorrow at 5 on Channel 9. We talked taxes and raises them. Tap Nancy L. Cunningham. In Raleigh, Cunningham partnered with liberals and voted for over $1 billion in the taxes. The Cunningham two-step delivered higher taxes on sin, healthcare, alcohol, more. Now, Washington liberals are embracing Cunningham and his tax-raising fancy footwork. Tell Cunningham we can't afford his higher taxes. That's a big dance. NRSC is responsible
every pepperoni sold, $1 is donated to the Papa John's Foundation to build a community.
Tomorrow, I'm at GMA celebrating National Grilling Month like only we can, with Chef Michael Simon's Patty Dish and an epic summer grill-off, of course. Plus, she's one of the coolest moms out there. And tomorrow, Hillary Duck's got some cool mom wisdom for you, only on GMA.
We're back, and ABC News' Sarah Hayes is stopping by her set. She's the mother of 3, and today she's sharing her story of the postpartum depression she experienced after the birth of her first son.
It can linger, and it creeps up on you.
And talk therapy helps.
Talk therapy helps a lot. And it was really my husband that said, "You've got to keep it." Oh my God.
We've witnessed compassionate women comfort our new mom and her friend.
Take some water. It'll be fine.
And her husband. Seemed blind to her struggle.
The baby was lost like 2 to 3 weeks, and it's been like 3 months.
We're moving again and wondering now if this man will react.
Okay, well, you're not the only one that's affected. It also affects me. You've been neglecting me. You're not taking care of yourself. Look at you.
James gets more frustrated and angry with his wife.
You can't just walk around being sad all day. It's not good for her. It's not good for us. You need to sit down.
Greta, as soon as she's left alone, he can't help but reach out. For his friend, it feels familiar.
I keep waiting to feel better.
Now, will they say anything to James when we send him back in?
They suggested therapy.
But I think that's ridiculous. I think you can do this on your own.
With that, they both decide to share something personal. In their own way, they're trying to remove the stigma.
Now, you let that away your frustration or your anxiety and get out.
Time to meet these caring friends.
You're going to get rid of it.
Hi guys, how are you? John Kenyatta with Third Act Club. You went through it?
Yes, I was in the heart.
What does it feel like?
Like it's a walk.
Your advice to women going through this?
You are just as important as your baby. So, having 2 hours, just for yourself. That would be my advice.
From 2 women who know small things can sometimes make a big difference. For you, it lasted. For you said?
Yeah, and it was such a dark time, and I talk about it as much as I can, so there's a mom out there that says, "Oh my gosh, I'm not alone." That's what I needed to hear.
Now, she's getting the chance to talk about it in a new way. Because after a quick wardrobe change,
I was made for this role, so I'm going to go in and play a part. Got my little earpiece in,
Sarah steps right into our scene.
and I feel like we need to see like a bucket bath and like a big glass of wine.
Kara's back, serving up more uninformed advice.
I just bet got me as long as I feel really good.
This young woman is sitting nearby.
Like, this isn't what I thought it would be. Maybe you should stop breastfeeding.
We're not quite sure if she's been listening.
All you have to do is look at that beautiful face. That's happiness. You'll be fine.
But then, and point by point, she pokes holes in Kara's misguided message.
She even takes the time to consent with her.
Like, postpartum depression is a thing that women deal with all the time, you know, and like that doesn't mean that you don't love your baby and that looking at your baby's face that is enough to make you happy. Like being a mom is hard. You're just so old. It seems like everyone else knows what they're doing, and I don't know what to do. You know, like have you ever thought about going to see anybody to talk to anybody? I didn't even tell you because I thought people would think I was a bad mom. But I don't know the baby, but like your whole life is just changed dramatically. How do you know? People, I'm a psychology major, so I can try and like understand what it must be like for you. What do you think I should do? Listen, I've struggled with anxiety and depression, and I went to therapy myself. Everybody thinks that makes me crazy. That's not the reality of it. So like I would definitely like if you would.
Hi. How are you?
Oh my God.
I'm joking, yo. This is Sarah Kane.
Oh God. You are an angel.
She was acting, but she's also really gone through it herself.
Really?
Postpartum depression. She knows what she's talking about. What did you want her to know?
Like what she felt like she felt so alone. Like I know that feeling, and like no one should feel like that.
You were in tears when you were acting. You knew you were acting.
I think because it's still so fresh, and so I think knowing how scary it was, I actually lose my breath.
So it's just like the real shoe really helped.
Oh, I can't tell you like there's so many times I would say what a sweet soul you are.
Thank you. I just couldn't watch you like cry like that. Even now, like I want to hug you. Like I can hug you.
You can totally get. I can't even tell you how touched I am. We need people like you.
People who are there to listen and get new moms the help they need to listen out of the dark. Next, Grandpa is young at heart, but his granddaughter is worried about his.
Well, they just said that if you have heart problems, you can't do it.
How will people react to that? Stay tuned.
Especially now. Unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month on a powerful nationwide 5G network. No contract or activation fees. Visit SimpleMobile.com 24/7 to get your service. Simple Mobile, optional, in with the simple. I found a way to relieve my constipation that's both gentle and fast.
New Great Tasty Dog-Relax Soft Chews work naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. New Dog-Relax Soft Chews.
Honey Chicken from Hopeland. Blended with purpose for dry damage care. With lush honey and cocoa. Meant to nourish and prepare. With a whole blend that helps slow damage to the end. What makes it better? Whole blend. The gardening. Naturally. What's going on? Let me.
Sprinkle Cimarron message. Help prevent them before they start to downhill go. Next Tuesday with some stereotypes.
Asian people are really smart, coming out.
It seems positive.
Isn't it a good thing? I mean, I happen to be a smart Asian, that doesn't mean all of them are.
What impact can these stereotypes have?
There's a reason why most athletes are black.
Wait until you see what people do. It won't be your politicians. You'll be that like a stereotype. When they don't know hidden cameras or roles. All right, let's break this. An all-new What Would You Do? Next Tuesday at 10, 9 Central on ABC. Comedian Nikki Glazer guest host. New tonight on ABC. This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America. Let's road trip. right now, it's even easier to trade up to the new Kia with up to $1,500 trade instead of cash.
This is our time to show what we're made of. To not just land on our feet, but hit the ground running. Our time to lift up our neighbors and support the people who make our community feel like home. This is why, when you shop local goodness at Food Lion, you're not only getting the best flavors in town, you're helping our community come back stronger than ever. After all, this is our world, and that's our Food Lion.
The struggles I'm hearing about from folks are almost hard to believe. We're being tested as a country, but I've always run to the fight. After 9/11, I volunteered, serving with troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. I learned that our country comes before party, and especially in times like these, I'll work with both parties when it's right, and I'll stand up to my own party when they're wrong. I'm Cal Cunningham. I approve this message because working together, I know we can beat this test. This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America, let's road trip. Right now, Visa change will be sold LX for $179, $500 straight to this cash.
We will not lose sight of the fact that the players returning for this season will still be fighting for justice as they fight for a championship.
With 300-foot-long zip lines spanning breathtaking views and speeds up to 55 miles per hour, this girl and her grandma are about to take off on a zip line adventure they will never forget. Here we go, folks. Let's take it to the Dawson Way. This will be so much fun. Despite a mild heart condition, he can't wait. But the warning on the waiver has his granddaughter worried. These days, we're seeing more and more retirees making big leaps. The oldest person in the world to ever skydive out of an airplane, and it's all in the name of living life while they still can. Will fellow zipliners tell Grandpa to follow his heart and enjoy the ride with his granddaughter?
Grandpa, are you sure this is a good idea?
Hard to be fun.
But Mom's gonna be mad.
Here we are. To find out, our What Would You Do team was invited as guests at the Goodview Resort, home of the Red River Wolves zip line in Captain, Kentucky. So the question is, what would you do?
Grandpa, are you sure that we can do this?
You'll be fine, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Haven't we done so long? We're kind of...
It'll be no secret. Immediately, these first riders jumped in as Katie's voices are concerned.
Do you think my grandpa will be okay?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. I'm just worried about his heart.
I was in the hospital last year.
It turns out she's ziplining with her father, who has some health issues of his own.
I had one problem too. I got all my pills this morning and I'm ready to go. Grandpa take all his pills?
Yeah.
Then you should be just fine.
I just don't want to see him in the hospital.
Let me get one.
Let me do.
Stop it before he came and you go out and she said yes.
For this family, the exchange is all too real. They're no teary-eyed. Why?
Because my dad's my best friend. He was worried all morning and I just said to him, it's going to be fine. You just got to keep going. You can't just stay stagnant.
We asked him these questions also if he was able to do it and his heart is okay and he felt good.
Have you ever done this before?
No,
Worried at all?
a little bit, but I'll make it.
I'll make it.
Who wants to sit around and wait to die? I don't want to do that. We roll again.
Grandpa, are you sure you can do this?
Don't worry, that'll be fun.
But how can you guess how long we were coming?
This next tour group tries to lighten the mood. For forgiveness and ask. We're really far from the hospital out here.
But we're really far from the hospital.
I'm a hard man.
Yeah, she is okay. Goodbye. Have a look at the nurse and see what you're about.
It's your advice.
Have fun.
As the day goes on, Katie keeps hearing the same line. I'm nervous. Another word. Same damn word thing is, the only word that's unexpected is expected. Most customers seem to agree.
Should I call my mom and tell her?
There's no urgent need to call mom.
My mom doesn't know we're here. She wouldn't like this.
Well, don't tell her. Let's find out why. I'll tell mom tomorrow.
And one of the instructors told me that they got protocol, not concerned at all.
Our grandpa certainly wasn't concerned.
This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
But now, what if he's the one with second thoughts instead of Katie?
Did your first one help get money? Yeah.
This first group had several experienced zip liners.
Why you got that before? I was diagnosed recently with like some slight heart problems. You don't regulate with this deal. I'll take you a great
And like the nurses did with Katie, they used experience to reassure Grandpa.
The first one that we go on is always a small part. And once you do it the first time, you will know it. Unless you get the doctor.
Right. Good thing about it. You don't find me afterwards, you know.
This next group also befriends our actors.
You're like not even nervous.
No, I'm excited. But my grandpa's nervous.
Then you drag your grandfather out.
Yeah.
That's a good grandpa.
Yeah.
But when Katie zips away,
I'm going to go get some water.
Grandpa reveals the true cause of his nerves.
You never done anything like this before? Well, I have a condition. I think I should still do this.
Favorite thing.
David, like write it out. There you go. Figure it out. That's the truth, man.
Halfway through, if you don't feel right, calm down and you can continue on with that. Just we'll give it a try.
And that would guarantee a happy ending with no broken hearts.
You've never done it before. I don't know. I feel like there's some risk involved there. I don't want to be the guy telling him, oh, yeah, get up there, when all of a sudden his granddaughter says, like, the worst experience of her life.
It's a point this last group drives home.
She's a fighter. Nice. Mom want to do it. It might be something.
She wants to know, really.
I feel like something I know.
No, but I kind of feel like I gotta do it. I mean, no. And when Grandpa breaks the news to Katie, they refuse to leave him hanging.
I hate David, so yeah, I'm not sure that I can go.
But Grandpa, you promised we would do this together.
Sometimes we all have like health issues that we gotta take care of. And it might just be best for maybe he stays here. I know you want to make a memory with us. You think you want to go with us? You can be our fearless leader.
What's your name again?
I'm Liz. And Sarah. This is Jordan.
That's right. And I guess that's my cue. I'm John Quijano. You were worried about me. Why do that for a stranger?
Why not? We should really excited we wanted to not participate.
Katie, that's not Fortunately, our grandpa was just asking. That warning on the waiver doesn't apply to him. We left him ziplining through the hills of Kentucky, reminding us that life. We'll be right back.
The debate over schools. Teachers in South Carolina rallying against reopening, while CMS parents are speaking out against the remote plan in Charlotte. We'll walk you through the concerns on both sides at 11 on WSOP tonight.
My new normal, fewer asthma,
less oral steroids. Taking out treatment at home. Nucala is a once-monthly add-on injection for severe eosinophilic asthma, not for sudden breathing problems. Allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for swelling of the base, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Infections that can cause shingles have occurred. Don't stop steroids unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May cause headache, injection site reactions, back pain, and fatigue. Ask your doctor about Nucala at home. Find your new normal with Nucala.
Itchy, scratchy, family,
care. Curable, middle, and beautiful. Doing what we love can be painful. Introducing Asper Cream with essential oil. Now toning lavender oil combined with fast-acting lidocaine for lasting relief. New Asper Cream with essential oil. No cover-up spray here. It's the irresistibly fresh scent of Febreze Airvac. Cheaper aerosols can cover up odors bearing the smell of a flowery fog. Switch to Febreze Airvac. Febreze eliminates even the toughest odors from the air, and it uses a 100% natural propellant to leave behind a pleasant scent you'll love. Use anywhere odors can spread. Freshen up Airvac. Dear Emma, when we first met, I thought you controlled every part of me. It's funny. I met Ocrevus, an infusion treatment that's 2 times a year for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis. Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you've had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it, or if you have hepatitis B. Tell your doctor about vaccination, or if you've had Hep B, that it could come back. Ocrevus can cause infusion reactions that may require hospitalization. It can increase the risk of infection. While no cases of TML are reported in clinical trials, it could have an increased risk of cancer, including breast cancer, may exist. Infusion reactions and infections are the most common side effects.
Sorry, Emma. You don't get to control every part of me. Emma, cancel. Ask your doctor about 2 times a year Ocrevus.
With so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any place else. ABC News World News Tonight with David Moore. We have made it through another week together, America's most watched program across all television. Do you know what tonight is?
Do you?
It's the night. Mitch Glazer, yes, those for Kimmel.
But
No, just tonight.
this is not professional.
And she's got Paris Hilton and comedian Phoebe Robinson.
Great.
Jimmy Kimmel Live is tonight on ABC.
Thanks for watching. You can catch full episodes of What Would You Do on abcnews.com and Hulu. Plus, new and classic scenarios on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Good night and see you next week.
To the doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals, to everyone keeping our supermarkets, pharmacies, gas stations running, to all the essential workers, thank you. We thank you for all you do.
He took taxes and raises them. Tennessee Cal Cunningham. In Raleigh, Cunningham partnered with liberals and voted for over $1 billion in new taxes. The Cunningham two-step delivered higher taxes on sales, healthcare, alcohol, more. Now, Washington liberals are embracing Cunningham and his tax-raising fancy footwork. Cal Cunningham, we can't afford his higher taxes at the big dance. NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
On WSOC tonight, a school sound-off. Parents and teachers on both sides of the argument making their voices heard to CMS.
Schooling outside the traditional building was a huge failure, but if it is not safe to be in school April or May, it certainly is not safe in August.
Plus, teachers protesting in Fort Mill over the district's plan. This coming just hours after the vice president's visit to the Palmetto State.
We all know special history back in the classroom.
A one-on-one interview with the vice president as educators raised concerns. And
He was taken away too soon.
the wife of a sanitation worker who was hit and killed by a car this week is speaking out how she's remembering her husband. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Erica Bonnet. We are less than a month away from the start of school in North Carolina.
From the Angels, who won their final tune-up game before the 60-game regular season starts Thursday. Shohei Ohtani at the plate. Let's go back to BP. Look where this ball flies outside the stadium. I mean, that is a haul to get up there. Very few balls reach that level of pavilion. So here in the first inning, could he do it again? Oh, good wood. But not quite as deep. Cody Bellinger's there to make the catch. So for the second inning, still no score of the game. Tommy LaStella at the dish. Tommy LaStella over the wall. That is gone for a home run. Solo job. Angels have a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the second, PK
Hernandez in the play. The runner on the corner. That was in the gap. Not deep enough to get into the cardboard cutout of the fans there, but it drives in a couple runs. 2 RBI double for Hernandez. We get a Mike Trout fighting in our Angels. Hey, there he is. He walked in his first at bat, and then here, got in on the hands a little bit. A weak grounder to third for the former MVP. More offense, though, from the Dodgers. 2-1 advantage here. Chris Taylor, Eves add 3 to that. Deep shot to left. 5-1. Dodgers take the lead. So three-way series action for these guys. We'll see what happens later with this.
A's have won 97 games in back-to-back seasons under Bob Melvin. The Giants have not been good the last 3 years, under 500, and say hello to Mike Yastrzemski. Remember last year, the 28-year-old rookie, he had 21 homers in 107 games. Remember Gabe Kapler, Eric's underway in San Francisco. Mike Yastrzemski, Carl Yastrzemski, grandson turns 30 in August. Looking good again, 2020. Baseball players blow bubbles, and this summer NBA players are inside while attempting to crown a champion at Disney. July 30th, NBA games begin. A week from Thursday,
There's no place like home.
infection rates are now going up in more states and they're going down. You gotta fight this fear. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Live aside the crowd. Maybe inconvenient. Maybe uncomfortable. But it's the right thing to do as an American. We need a president who will love the American people. A president will tell us the unvarnished truth. A president will take responsibility instead of always blaming others. A president will listen to the experts, follow the science, allow them to speak. A president will lead, be an example for the nation. We have to do all we can to keep our fellow Americans safe and healthy. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve of that.
If only there were a place.
To see your heroes,
The moments you'd love to relive. And the stories you've never heard.
well, Eric,
WWE Network. A place to be a part of something extraordinary.
comes the most stylish, elegant, bewitching, eternally beguiling, continuously charismatic, and fantastically fascinating woman to appear in this or any arena. Allow yourself to be seduced, enchanted, dazzled, and entranced by all-red everything herself. Eva Marie is currently suffering from exhaustion, anxiety, and stress brought on by hostile WWE fans, and as such will be recuperating on a vacation in the British Isles.
I wish her the best. These fans can be very hostile.
Joining Natalya and Alexa Bliss will be from Scottsdale, Arizona, Nikki Bella. You talk about an impressive comeback, John. In January, she underwent what was considered career-threatening neck surgery, but do not count out Nikki Bella. What a miraculous recovery. Recently cleared, and she is ready to make a statement here at SummerSlam.
As a former Divas champion, what a great party. Partners for Natalya and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Nikki back, but I'm fighting with what is hard to say about that.
I'm not. I think it's awesome.
It's awesome to hear that. Shocking return of Nikki Bella.
They think those go way back to Natalya. They started training together and everything. Rode together for years.
So, the women's division on SmackDown Live, fully on display here at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch against Alexa Bliss to get us started. Quick roll-up by Bliss. Lynch looks for the back slide. It's the 2 count. Oh!
And this is another situation where you have to work with your partner to win, but at the same time, you got to be a little self-confident. You want to shine.
An aggressive start by Alexa Bliss, who's been involved in sports since the age of 5. Wow, what a beautiful matrix escape there by Becky Lynch.
That's why Becky Lynch is the #1 weapon to grab on SmackDown Live.
Looking for the lead off, turn it into a flapjack, immediately goes to that front face lock.
Caught her out of midair.
Here we go. Tag made in comes Naomi.
Alexa knew she was in the wrong part down.
She makes the tag, and in comes the Queen of Hearts, Natalya. Oh, there's the advance to the left. Naomi using the rope to an advantage. Jackknife cover for a 2.
And that's the thing. Not only is Naomi a good dancer, but she's arguably one of the best athletes on the roster, male or female. Oh my goodness, there. That outfit is completely distracting. That's definitely not fair there, Dad.
Oh! Natalya sidesteps that attack.
Ow.
Billy decks Natalya. Oh! Does the split for a 2 count. And here comes Carmella. The tag was made. A little teamwork between Naomi and the Princess of Staten Island.
Carmella's debut here in SummerSlam.
Carmella moonwalking out of harm's way.
I think you learned that in the hard dungeon.
Wow, flying head scissors there by Carmella.
Carmella's looking good.
Natalya able to slip out of harm's way.
Great opportunity for Carmella and Alexa. Her first solo. That's the difference. Italian power. Got power slap. Power slap looks familiar. Little Uncle David. I was going to say, please divert. Uncle the British Bulldog is Italia. The crowd, they want victory, and it's top Nikki Bella. Thunderous reaction. Suplex. Goes for the rival press. Carmella able to power out. Hey, the Bellas were the ones that are responsible for this entire Demon Revolution. Of course, while the SmackDown Live Women's Division on full display here at SummerSlam, how about the women wrestlers in the Olympics? Erica Weave of Canada, Helen Maroulis from the States, both winning Olympic gold. For Maroulis, the first American female to win gold. And that's the sign of this. Boxer by Nikki Bella, side press. The two count. Oh, wow. I gotta appreciate that. She's showing us how fit she is. Not just showing you how fit she is, but she works hard to come back. She earned it. The name of the game is to figure her opponent's shoulders. 1, 2, 3, and now she does have Carmella in hostile territory. Well, to the former created now by Carmella. Desperate to make that tag in. Carmella. Gymnastics background on display. Alexa Bliss with a back press to the 2. Hello, I'm Mike Mandel, inventor of My Pillow. Just like you, I have problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented My Pillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my pad and fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made My Pillow machine washable and dryable. I back My Pillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota. That's good. In fact, I made the products are better quality products. I've tried a lot of other pillows, and nothing's like Megapod. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on My Pillows, but also my mattress topper, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code. I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets, and they are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
Knowing your pillow is so easy to just roll up and sleep anywhere I want to go. So much for pillow is really comfortable. The next thing is making supportive and making soft.
The My Pillow Topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a clean night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and get rest. That's 3 inches of wonderful. It's in the My Pillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud. My Pillow helps me get a good night's sleep, so I can do my job in the morning. Go to mypillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on My Pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code. Thank you to everyone who worked together over the last few months to help each other out.
Like our fans who love this commercial are staying safe from home.
Beautiful, isn't it, Red? I mean, pink. I mean, teal. I mean, whatever's going on there. There's never been a more crystal time.
designed and rendered basic to participating law firms. The drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death. Call 1-800-742-1025. Here's a Spitfire. The tank is made again. In comes Natalia. The triumvirate of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Bella took roll here in the six-woman tag team match. Nice right. Carmella into the kickoff. Yeah, they working very well together. If you see, they're focusing on Carmella because she's young one over there. Very kind of hard doing a little baiting on him for a pro. Natalia. John Watson necessary. Break. Carmella back into the corner. Snap there out of the corner. Cover. Natalia always keeps the hand up too. Just like we saw in that tag team match on SummerSlam kickoff. The 12-man tag team. Everyone jockeying for position in the tag team division and the women's division. For great Intercontinental Champion. Razor Ramon needs to use this. Much place for Carmella to go here. Natalia would love to be the Alpha Female on the SmackDown Live Women's Division. Plenty of order. Natalia graduating from the Justice of Queen, Japan, and of course, also work here at WWE. Carmella looking to turn the tables on them. Almost unanimous for one between her and him. From Natalia in the corner. Carmella right now really to fight back and delivers a boot to the midsection. Sneaks through the legs of Natalia looking for that tag. And here comes the fight fighter, Becky Lynch. Leg lariat by the Irish leg kicker. The big winner. Another one. Wonderful measure. Can she complete the hat trick? Nikki Bella. This is with the clothesline. And Becky Lynch has the ball set up in the corner. Springboard. Side kick. One for Bliss, one for Bella, and one for Natalia. Knock him down. And Becky Lynch fired up to be a part of SummerSlam. And a big blow to Natalia. Could be it. Little girl there, guy. Natalia for a 2 count. Oh, and the Gary by Becky.
Alright, so how about that? WWE 2K20 Dream Match. And, yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Pretty good. We had about 4 or 5-star matches on the card. Looked to be really, really cool. So, yeah, let's have some fun out there. It was amazing. It was truly amazing. Alright, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. This will be your boy, AJ Trip, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Just be careful out there. And I am out.